Rollo Tomassi, an angsty 14-year-old girl with a devout love for gossip stuck in a body of a deteriorating geriatric pushing 60, is a gift that keeps on giving. This pathetic wannabe alpha male who got blown the fuck out by Brittany Venti, who, under an alias, was feeding him wrong information about herself that he did absolutely no fact-checking on and reported as though they were facts, who got then blown the fuck out by Lauren Southern, who, under an alias, was feeding him wrong information about herself that he reported on as though they were facts, which I'm sure you're noticing a trend here, who got blown the fuck out by The Authentic Observer, and then Erudite, and then Destiny, and then Sneeko. Imagine losing a debate to Sneeko, and now he's about to be shit on by a VTuber. I love being me, I genuinely do. So Rollo here, through some kind of a mental breakdown or a delusion, and frankly a thorough inability to follow a timeline, is accusing Destiny and the Progressive Victory movement of being responsible for motivating the shooter who tried taking out Donald Trump. Let's jump into it, shall we?
You gotta remember that Destiny, Jasmine Jafar, Farah, Pixie, Not So Erudite, let's see, Philion, I can't remember the rest of these guys. These are people who were political operatives. Their influence was bought by a political action committee that goes by the name Progressive Victory. They are the ones who are out. In fact, I would not be surprised if this Thomas Matthew Cook is not also part of Progressive Victory.
He wouldn't be surprised if the shooter was part of Political Victory. Now, the fact that that is a genuinely fucking unhinged thing to say, there is just so much wrong with what he said. Philion, for starters, isn't even affiliated with Political Victory as far as I know. He's a quasi-fitness critic who only clowned on Rollo Tomassi because Rollo Tomassi is an actual clown. I adore how he will allude to something sinister happening but won't actually give you any details for you to latch onto, while the little details that he does give are just fucking wrong.
That's why these guys are twisting in the wind right now, trying to figure out what their narrative is going to be. Because now you took a shot at a formerly standing president, and this is the result of that.
Twisting in the wind, figuring out what the narrative would be. Fucking yahoo! Everything we know about the shooter in terms of the timeline so far is that when he was 17, he donated to a progressive PAC, which I believe was a $15 donation. And by the way, watch Rollo latch onto this like his pigtailed spirit would latch onto Tay-Tay concert tickets, because this is the only thing that he can even try and twist into sort of his own narrative. Then at the age of 18, he registered as a Republican, at the age of 19, voted as a Republican, and at the age of 20, tried to kill Trump while wearing a right-wing gun YouTuber's t-shirt. Now, if this by itself isn't enough, then we have also had the FBI officials tell members of Congress on Wednesday that the gunman who tried to kill former President Donald J. Trump used his cell phone and other devices to search for images of Mr. Trump and President Biden, along with an array of public figures. What seems to be infinitely more likely is that this was a deeply, deeply mentally unwell individual who just wanted to take a shot at any prominent figure, political figure, that was going to be in his vicinity. If you don't want to trust FBI, then, I mean, you do you, right? I can't fix every fucking idiot out there. But at the same time, if you do want to look at the actual factual stuff that we have, then it seems like him being a Republican is infinitely more likely than him being some sort of a hidden fucking Democrat. Just use your head for a sec, Rollo.
This is the product of you guys and your rhetoric being bought and paid for by political action committees since 2022, since July of 2022. That's at least by my record. Sam Drismala, who is the administrator, the guy that maybe he's the owner or the creator of Progressive Victory, admittedly started buying left-leaning, progressive-leaning influencers as far back as July of 2022. I'll show you I'll point you guys in the right direction as far as the documentary is concerned. That is now, all of the shit has been coming out in the last month or so. And nobody's really no one is banging a gong about this except for me.
I love how almost everything he says can be disproven with like a 3-minute Google search. So if you go onto Political Victory's website and you click About, you can literally read, Progressive Victory is a new kind of political community, built by the internet for the internet. Our community is turning the tides in elections across the country. Progressive Victory seeks to challenge the traditional methods of political organizing by engaging people through online media with a focus on building solidarity with streamers and social influencers. Destiny has been upfront about working with Progressive Victory from the day their partnership commenced. A number of bigger political commentators like Vorsh or Emma of England, as well as smaller ones like Wick or Pixie, have been associated with Progressive Victory for a very long time and very openly whilst at it. Also, the claim that PV is buying these people is an interesting one, because to the best of my understanding, every person involved with PV was already pro-Democrats to begin with and making pro-Democrats content to begin with. There is a number of ethical considerations here that can be raised and explored, but Rollo isn't competent enough to tackle any of them.
If you are a Trump supporter and you had this kid, this high-functioning autistic kid on your show, you are complicit in what happened yesterday, to some degree. Because you gave the motherfucker a platform.
Oh, hey, a conservatoid advocating for cancel culture because he's too stupid to understand what's happening around him? Color me surprised. Also, not for nothing, but Rollo, you absolute fucking Tootsie Roll, you've spoken to Destiny yourself a number of times before and didn't seem to share any of these concerns for his platformings until after your talking points got dismantled so hard you had to bring on a friend to help you debate who ended up siding with Destiny.
When you give these guys that kind of leeway, when you give them that, I mean, you give them a huge audience.
Oh, no, actually, I take back what I just said. Rollo isn't guilty of any of this, actually. His audience isn't huge.
I'll tell you right now, all these kids are going to keep a very low profile, at least for probably till the end of this month. Trust me on that.
But they're not keeping a low profile. Everyone's business is as usual. Tiny went on Pierce's show and started discourse that got names like Mehdi Hassan involved. Is the Grand Wizard of Red Pill off his meds again? Someone try and get in contact with his nurse. We desperately need her in here.
But by the way, I'm not broadcasting on Twitch right now because right before I went on, Twitch said they didn't like the title of this video and I needed to tweak it a little bit. I'm like, fuck that, I don't care. I don't have anybody watch me on Twitch anyways. So I just canceled that stream, which is, I think I might have had 3 viewers on it.
This absolute specimen opened up his OBS, put in the title. Twitch's automod policy told him to readjust the title, and it was too much for him. Just gave up, called it a day, moved on with his life. Amazing.
If you gave these kids any kind of credence, any kind of clout, any kind of legitimacy, if you legitimized any of these people, you are part of the problem. Maybe unwittingly so, I'll give you that. Maybe you just simply didn't know. But now we know.
Now we know. We've known for 2 years, you absolute troglodyte. This is public information. Progressive Victory had an event with Rokana where a bunch of streamers got involved. They waved their banners during canvassing. Rollo acts as though he's living out this Tom Clancy's novel and he's the truth sayer, whilst in reality, those of us who know anything about what he's talking about are stuck here wondering which flavor of crayon is his favorite.
You have somebody on there, especially if you're like pro-Trump and you're, pro-traditional conservative values and everything like that, and you're going to go and put somebody like Destiny on your show, just know that you're giving them a bullhorn.
Hey, I'm a glaze a little bit. Rollo is actually correct here, but not for the reasons he thinks. If you are a right-leaning fella and you invite Destiny on your show, you are sabotaging your own side because he will run circles around you and debate you into the ground as he has with so many others before. And hey, if Republicans are so goddamn correct, then why do they lose these debates so goddamn always? Why engage with Destiny though if you can do what Rollo does and selectively react to a YouTube video to feel better about yourself?
And that bullhorn is used to do what happened yesterday.
And we're back to calling Rollo a truly pathetic specimen. He is blaming Progressive Victory, and Destiny specifically, for the kid who shot Donald Trump. where if he had only waited 24 hours, he'd know the kid was a registered and voting Republican, and if he had waited 48 hours, he'd know the kid was Googling for a number of politicians and wanted to shoot whoever was going to be anywhere near him at the soonest possible fucking time. No wonder you never see Rollo standing upright. He has no spine. And this is the dude who calls himself a rational male, mind you. Because, you know, it's very classic for rational men to just jump to conclusions and gossip their fucking life away. That's, yeah, truly a role model to look up to.
I'll tell you right now, nobody pays me. I don't do this for, trust me, I ain't doing this for the money.
We know nobody pays you, Rollo. That's why you keep making shit up for clout to see if that will make you have more viewers than you have grey hairs. No one's surprised.
You have me on your show, you're going to get the real fucking deal. You have these guys on your show, you're going to get propaganda, agitating propaganda. That's what you're going to end up getting.
He genuinely can't help himself. Even right now, even during this, what is supposed to be a sombering sort of stream, he can't help himself to beg people to let him on their shows. What an absolute cry for help if I've ever seen one. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Rollo is getting old, with his only legacy being angsty young men on the internet who believe themselves capable of having a harem whilst they remain thoroughly maidenless. Rollo is the type of dude to advocate for one-sided open relationships while he is in a monogamous closed relationship and has been for decades, while his actual audience can't even hack that. He is desperate for leaving a relevant mark on the world while being aware that he already has reached the sort of maximum level of fame that someone like him can ever achieve. There is a reason why this buffoon got thoroughly shit on by every single content creator he ever engaged with, to a point of running away and pretending it didn't happen. Rollo, if by some miracle you've stumbled onto this video and managed to last until this portion, I want you to please listen to me when I pour my heart out to you, especially as an ex-Red Pillar, okay? I've seen peeps already call you out for this dogshit video of yours, and I suspect it will only get worse based on the sheer amount of people who are better at this than you are. So on screen right now, I am sharing the hotline number for the Aging and Disability Services in the state of Nevada. Please do not let your ego stop you from calling them. Vulnerable adults like you deserve our utmost care. So, that will be it for today. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe, and if you want some extra points, then leave a comment down below. The special code for today is geriatrism. Throw that somewhere in your comment so I know you've watched in full. Bye, and take care.